Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a tutorial for this smoky eye look which I have paired with a soft bright pink lip. So this is the final look that I would be recreating, and let's get started. So I've already done my base. I'm going to start with my eye makeup. Since Sephora has recently launched in Mumbai, I'm using mostly Sephora products for this look. So first I'm using a brown eye pencil and I'm applying this thickly along my upper lash line. This is quite a powdery and smudgeable kind of eye pencil, so I've just smudged it along my upper lash line. I'm using the same along my lower waterline and lash line as well, and once again going back in with my brush to smudge and smoke it out. Next, I'm using this cool toned shimmery brown color from the Sephora It Collection palette, and I'm applying this color all over my lid. This is quite a cool toned eyeshadow palette, so if you like cooler browns, cooler neutrals, you should definitely check this out. Next, I'm using the matte brown from this palette, and I'm using this in the outer corner as well as the crease of my eye. First, I'm using a small brush just to apply the color, and then going back in with a clean fluffy blending brush just to blend that out in the crease. Make sure to spend some time in the blending step because that is what gives a really good finish to the eye makeup, and don't use too much pressure, otherwise that can end up in a patchy looking color. I'm using the same matte brown color along my lower lash line as well, and then going back in with my blending brush just to make sure there are no harsh edges. I'm using the same brown color to fill in the gaps in my brows as well, so you can see this is quite a multi-purpose color. To highlight the inner corner and brow bone, I'm using this shimmery champagne color from the same palette. For my upper lash line, I'm using a liquid eyeliner, and I'm just using this to add a little more definition to my upper lash line. And to trace the wing, I'm just extending my lower lash line and then completing the triangle by joining the tip to the liner, and then you can just fill it in. For the lashes, I'm using the Full Action Extreme Effect Mascara. This adds very good definition, it separates the lashes really well, and it adds a very wearable kind of volume. It's not a very heavy mascara, it's something you can use every day. And I've used this on my top as well as my bottom lashes. Next, I'm using a kajal pencil, and this is quite a long lasting one, and I'm applying this along my lower waterline. To finish off the look, I've added a pair of false eyelashes, and that finishes the eye makeup. Now coming back to the face, I'm using a pressed powder. This is in the deepest shade I could find, and I'm using this to contour my cheekbones. If you're not able to find a contouring powder or a contouring kit, you can just go with any pressed powder or foundation which is a couple of shades darker than your skin tone. Just make sure you blend it really well so that your contour looks natural. And to highlight my cheekbones, I'm using the same highlighter eyeshadow that I used under the brow bone. For the cheeks, I'm using the Sephora Colorful Blush in the shade number 12. This is almost a nude color, it's got a bit of a peachy tone, and it also has some fine gold shimmer. So it's a great color when you want like a nude look, just a hint of color on the cheeks. Next, I'm going to use a lip liner, and I'm using the shade Vintage Pink, which is a soft pink color. I'm using this to line as well as fill in my lips entirely. Now generally you would do a nude lip with a smoky eye, but I decided to go with a slightly brighter color. This is the Sephora Rouge lipstick in the shade Firework. It's a bright coral pink. I'm just dabbing a little bit of it on my lips, and then I'm going to use my finger just to blot down the excess color and give it more of a stained look. And that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you tried any of these products from Sephora, I would love to know your comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye.